A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13. I'm Ritwika Gupta. In tonight's episode, we are exploring the intersection of wellness, skincare and purpose-driven entrepreneurship. Celebrating National Nutrition Week, we are first bringing you a special conversation with actor and entrepreneur Milind Soman, who opens up about his evolving definition of wellness, nutrition and how he balances discipline with self-awareness in his journey towards holistic well-being. In the second segment, we speak to Shankar Prasad, founder and CEO of Plum, on the evolving landscape of India's beauty industry. Thank you, Milind, for joining us today on Leaders of Tomorrow. Firstly, tell us, Milind, you have worn many hats: model, actor, athlete, entrepreneur. How has your personal definition of wellness evolved through these different phases?
Well, I was in sport from a very, very young age, so that was a big advantage for me. I was in competitive sport from the age of 9. So that actually gave me a lot of background in being healthy and what healthy means. Though, of course, the idea of health and fitness and wellness has only come up in the last 15 or 20 years. So in retrospect, when I look back at it, there was a lot of awareness that I had because of my background in sport. So it was about, obviously feeling good, not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally, even you can call it spiritually. And also about the fact that your body is functioning the way you want it to. So when I say the way you want it to, it means that you're able to achieve the objectives that you want.
Absolutely.
And again, that's not only physically, but it's also mentally. So wellness has to do with everything, just not your body, but also your mind. It has to do with your emotions, with every aspect of you.
So, Milind, tell us, how important is skincare as part of a complete self-care or fitness routine, especially for men? And I ask this because many men still shy away from talking about skincare. What would you say to someone who thinks skincare isn't manly or necessary?
It all depends on what you want from your life. I mean, if you want your skin to look good, you need to make an effort. You want your hair to look good, you need to make an effort. You want your body to look good, you need to make an effort. You want to be happy, you need to make an effort. And that's all it is. It depends on what you want. If you feel that it's not important, and to some people it's not important, they do nothing. To the people who think it's important, they make the effort.
Now, you have partnered with Plum on a product that champions science, discipline and effort. What personally drew you to this campaign and to the product itself?
Plum, as a company, I think focuses on a lot of natural ingredients. And that's something that that I like a lot. I mean, I usually use just, fruit peels on my skin. And I think a lot of my own skin care comes from within rather than from using products. But I'm always experimenting. I read a little bit about the product and the company. I thought it was interesting. And when they sent me something to use, I used it and it felt good. So it all depends. It's an individual question, really. But there's so many products out there. There's so many natural remedies out there. And I think it's up to each person to figure out what feels best and what works best for them. But I really liked the Plum product that I used.
Now, as an investor and entrepreneur, is there a checklist you follow before you say yes to a brand collaboration?
The checklist to me is whether I feel that the product should be promoted in the first place. Like, for example, I would never, and I have never, even when I started modeling, this is in the late 80s, I said no to promoting alcohol, no to promoting tobacco, no to promoting soft drinks, no to promoting chips. And I had no money at that time. But I was very particular about it.
Right.
That if I feel this is something that shouldn't be promoted, pan masala, for example, gambling, gaming, or none of these things. So in fact, the number of products or the kind of products or services that I can promote or I allow myself to promote are very restricted. If I feel that this is something that, might have a bad effect on somebody, then I most probably will say no. So I do think quite deeply about it, and I say, is this something that I think should be promoted? Is it possible that this can harm somebody? And if I feel that the answer is yes, I don't promote it.
In today's fast-paced world, many rely on supplements and quick fixes. What's your take on food as medicine, and how can people strike the right balance between convenience and nutrition? And how do you personally evaluate what works and what doesn't?
Well, convenience and it's like technology, both of them have a reason to exist and to obviously make our lives easier. But there has to be an understanding that an easy life is not necessarily the life that is going to give you happiness.
Absolutely.
It's not the life that is going to give you health. It's not the life that's going to give you fitness.
Yep.
To be happy, you need to make an effort. To be fit, you need to make an effort. You need to make an effort. To be healthy, you need to make an effort. So ease and convenience have their space, So to me, it's, again, an individual choice. What you think is a good life, what you think, what you want from life. Like for me, people will look at me and say, why at the age of 60 are you cycling and running 500 kilometers? You don't need to do that.
Sure.
I mean, you're 60 years old. It's time to rest, time to relax. I mean, a lot of people keep telling me this. But to me, it's not. That is about enjoying life. When I can enjoy my body, I can enjoy my mind to the fullest. That is the meaning of enjoying life. So that's how it is.
So tell us, how do fitness and nutrition impact not just physical health, but skin, hair, and overall appearance, especially as one ages?
It's a natural process that your body is going to be slowing down. In fact, after the age of 20 or 25, it begins to slow down because that's your peak. But we're talking about physicality there. Your body physically begins to slow down, but your mind, because you gain more experience, you gain more wisdom, you gain more understanding, your mind can actually go from strength to strength as you age. So again, it's what you realize as you grow older. So food, everything is important. Sleep is important, food is important, activity is important, the way your mind works is important. And it's important to keep understanding the changes with all those things, because as you grow older, your body is changing, your mind is changing, the world around you is changing. So it's very important to understand the nature of change and how it affects you. And then you make the choices that you want to make so that you can continue to move in the direction that you want to move.
So with social media shaping so many perceptions of health, how do you personally filter the noise and stay grounded in your own approach?
Well, my wife has this complaint about me that I only look at myself on social media. I don't look at anybody else. So I'm always looking at my own social media page, my own posts, if there are any comments that I find that interesting. I never look at anybody else's contributions to social media.
Sure.
So for me, I minimize the noise. Again, that's my choice. I minimize it. If I think something is noise, and when I say noise, it means it is not contributing something positive to my life, I don't look at it. That's my choice.
Milind, you have often advocated for listening to your body. How do you tailor your nutrition during different phases, whether you're training or recovery phase or traveling or even holidaying?
So when you say listen to your body, it's very important to understand what that means. So if you just say listen to your body, people will sit back and say, okay, what is my body saying? It's not that easy. For your body to speak to you, it needs to experience something. You need to put your body through some experience. And these experiences are happening all the time, but we don't pay attention to them. How is my body responding at every point of the day to the different situations that it's being faced with?
Sure.
And when you understand your body's response to that, it could be a bad response, it could be a good response. If it's a bad response, you need to modify that response, or you need to understand why your body is giving a bad response, why your mind is giving a bad response. Like things like frustration or anger or intolerance. Why does your mind give that response to certain situations? It's like stress.
Right.
When you talk about stress, people think stress is a bad thing, but stress not necessarily a bad thing. How you respond to stress will make stress good or bad. So these are things that you have to sit with yourself and pay attention to, and which you can do. I mean, it's a theory called mindfulness. It's not something new. That anything that you do, any situation that you're in, anything that you think, you have to be behind that and figure out, why did I think that? Why did I do this? Why did I speak that? Why did I feel it? And when you understand those things, you begin to understand yourself better, and then you can make better choices, as I said earlier, to keep going in the direction that you want to go. But again, when I say that, you need to know what the direction is. You need to choose that direction first.
And finally, tell us, what advice would you give to people who are looking to build long-term wellness and not just short-term results?
I never give advice, but I can say look around you. I mean, there is social media today, and the fantastic thing about social media is you see people doing the most amazing things, which are not just entertaining, but they can literally change your life if you understand why they're doing it and how they're doing it. And those are the things that if I were to look into social media, I would look for. I would look for inspiration.
Sure.
So I would say that this is what is being offered to you today in the form of technology, inspiration that comes from every corner of the world. And that can change your life at any time, at any age. So take that inspiration.
Well, this was a great conversation, Milind. Thank you so much for your time. It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.